gone.
That's for sure, right? You're going to have this high chance of maybe even getting a surprise kill on him.
Yeah,
unlikely, because Radahn, you know, we know his Morphling is very, very strong. He's not going to get caught like that. You can see on the badge at the top, level 30 Morphling here. But you never know. It does happen to some of the greatest Morph players.
See if Crit what he wants to do here, because Miposhka, he's got a lot of stacks on him. Yeah, he'll have to just TP. The beauty about Shadow Demon right now is it feels like he's one of the best 5s to secure lanes just because of Menace. I feel like people really do write that one off quite a lot, but I've seen Miposhka kill almost any hero lately as a Shadow Demon, especially in the last tournament. He was playing like, I feel like his versus like a Bat Rider, and he was solo killing a Bat as a Shadow Demon at level 1 and 2, which is a big deal.
Bottom lane. I guess the real question is indeed when like the level 3s come out for both sides. Yeah. I mean, if Mirror and Collapse, it feels like they could go for kills, because how much is a Chen going to be able to hold back these two heroes when they get on top of one of the two of you? It's going to be difficult to keep yourself safe. I guess they're just going to make sure all possible times that their HP is pretty much topped up. Yeah, they do at least have a stun in the lane, right? Sven does help a lot versus something like the Primal, but could be a dangerous lane if they do step out of position. That being said, though, Snae's literally just burning all of Mira's mana, so it's a pretty cool approach to prevent the Hoodwink being able to get that spam out, just this Satyr. And even gets the deny on his own Satyr as well, too, so. Laurel having a fantastic time in mid for now. Oh, what a nice little courier snipe there from Crit. That's the little Shredder at level 2 is able to take that out. He gets the blast onto the Morph there from a distance. Stops Shredder from being able to get that early ban of Elgin skin. He's trying to get in. Early stats helping with the CS. Every little counts towards trying to make this area of the map eventually a place that Amar on the Brood is going to have complete control of. Amar shouldn't have any troubles up here getting any of that farm versus the Morph. Should have pretty much free. Gonna start seeing these tosses for that extra CS, but yeah, Laro's actually quite a decent margin ahead now in these first few waves. Yeah, he's doing very well. I mean, he's got this whole wave coming in onto him as well, so easily a wave advantage so far against Mallory. And I guess we expect the DK to have a slight edge, but this is definitely a little bit more so far than I would have expected on paper. Yeah, so Lyle playing very well. He barely missed really many CS at all, right? I think he's been 24. That's true, yeah, close to perfect. Almost perfect besides those denies on the Tiny, so very nicely done from Laurel. Bounty for bounty exchange. Mira checks his at the same time that Crit's checking the one up top. So similar kind of movements even from the supports. Even though it's not like an impactful movement, it's still just grabbing these bounties, which could deny it away from one of these two mid laners. Probably the DK, if anything, or the Tiny, because DK doesn't go bottle, but. I'm curious to see when the moves come out around these, you know, who's going to make the first move around to one of these side lanes, because, you know, Laurel, if Malrine does move from the mid lane, of course, there's going to be that pressure, so. Are they going to make the move to the mid? That's usually where we do see it. But do they have kill threat on these tanky cores? We'll have to see. One of these two mid laners, probably the DK if anything, or the Tiny, because DK doesn't go bottle, but. I'm curious to see when the moves come out around these, you know, who's going to make the first move around to one of these side lanes, because, you know, Laurel, if Malrine does move from the mid lane, of course, there's going to be that pressure, so. Are they going to make the move to the mid? That's usually where we do see it. But do they have kill threat on these tanky cores? We'll have to see. Did get too many stacks onto him there, but just bothering him. Not letting him kill any more couriers. I mean, and as the lane goes at the moment between Amar and Radahn, you know, Amar getting the edge in with the denies, having that slightly better time, so. Now, Crit, he's not too fussed with the fact that he's just kind of keeping the Shadow Demon interested in himself, being a bit of a distraction, and letting Amar play the lane 1v1 for the most part. And these webs do have quite a bit of an effect onto something like Morphling, right? Like, true. I'm just watching him try to stand outside of the web AoE in some of these situations and move up to regen, because this 20% reduction is pretty painful. Amar definitely very happy with the lane start. Leader Radahn is going to have quite the work cut out for him ahead of this, as this won't be a free lane. Laurel's going to have 6 good amount for the time, actually, with this next wave coming in. And do have pretty aggressive supports to be able to bring across and set up with Laurel. You know, you see this Hoodwink and the Shadow Demon both with pretty nice setup to kind of harass the Tiny out of the lane and set up to push the tier 1 tower rather early. He's got 4 stacks. They're in with the cookie. He's able to pop Crit first, though, so first blood goes the way of Miposhka, but Amar will be able to take a solo kill in return. getting that XP all for himself.
One of those situations where it's like, nice play by the 5 position, but then also Amar's like, good job, crit. Yep. I've got a free lane now, and he might hit 6
got
even
out the
earlier.
way, and then, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
This brood start for Amar is going rather fantastic.
Yeah, they do get the bottle refill out of it as well, too, so it's a death, of course, for crit, but it's going to, of course, have its own benefits. Malrine, not quite level 6. The support rotations are coming, but now he's at 6.
Oh, look at the avalanche, but disruption there from Maposhka to hold back Malrine. And keep Lars safe as Lars able to keep his distance, continue to poke damage back in onto Tiny. They'll turn over towards Maposhka. They can set up. Good cookie here from Crit. Toss forward as well onto the 2 of them, and that's a kill with the blast. The final punch there from Malrine. So support rotations coming in on the mid, but ends up succeeding more for Team Falcons.
There could definitely be a difficulty for Team Spirit to bring down this Tiny early game. Their damage overall, until like Hoodwink hits 6, until like the Primal Beast rotates in, I don't think they're going to be able to bring down Malrine. So I think bringing these rotations to this Tiny is going to be pretty nice for the side of Falcons just to set him up for success, because Malara's not going to be able to push this tower, and that's ideally what you want to have happen as this DK. They're going to get a toss back, too.
Very, very nice toss back there underneath the tower. Crit coming in as well with the body blocks, trying to get as much damage in as possible from the tower. Lars going to try for the TP out. It's a good move from him. Gets himself back to safety. Indeed, Falcons were seeing this pressure coming in on the mid, just trying to do what they can to stop Lal from being able to get that early damage onto the tier 1 tower, despite obviously the laning success that he had, hitting that 6, having that edge with the denies and such in terms of the XP. Falcons, they're making sure that they deal with that and don't let this Dragon Knight get out of control.
This top lane's now definitely an issue. I'm wondering who wants to make the rotation up here toward Amar, because they do
who
not
deals
have
with the spider?
Honestly, they might have to move. They might have to swap where the Primal Beast is at some point so they don't just lose towers too fast. Maposhka starting to get chased out. The spider block.
Nice blocking here from Amar, indeed, surrounding Maposhka with the spiders. All this brood.
Could be a big problem.
It absolutely does at least feel like the beginning of one.
And overall, bottom, the lane that could have been that maybe dangerous lane for the Sven, he's completely endured it because of snaking, just burning the mana off the Primal, burning the mana off of the Hoodwink as well, and he's been stacking. So Skitter, after having a pretty successful lane, not dying at all, now has these huge stacks to go back to as a Sven. Pretty damn good start here for Falcons. And even though the rotation's coming from Laurel, they can put some pressure onto the tower, as we said, for killing Malrine. It's just not really an option for them until they do have more levels. This Tiny set looks kind of cute.
Oh, which set has he got?
He's got the turtle shell. It's not.
Oh, the new one.
The new one, yeah.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Indeed. You get it, I think, when you've got like the level 3 or you have, well, I think, yeah, level 3, you get the crab on your back as well, crawling around.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, have you not seen like a little red crab crawling around on the back?
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Okay, so who goes top? Okay, that's the question for me for Spirit. Who wants to deal with the Amar pressure? Or do you just...
got to be, surely you just got to bring your offlane duo up there.
I think so,
you get
too.
sort of the setup with the Hoodwink, and then you're able to come crashing in, grab the spider with the pulverize.
It's either that or you make the rotation to mid and you try to pressure the tower super hard and you sack your safe lane tower kind of in a way in order to get the mid, but let's see what they do look to do. Maybe they do bring a rotation afterwards if they get a good position where Amar's too deep to be able to get a rotation from the Primal.
They're trying to make a go on him. He's got the backup and mirror at his side. Cookie won't quite connect onto the turn of the bush. Whack on him back, but snaking.
He's here.
He's trying to like do a little bit of body blocking by this. He's trying to catch onto Lal. The damage here.
So outrageous.
It's so much burst, and the final right click from a Chen takes the DK down. That's a pretty sad way to go out there, getting right clicked by a Chen.
Between the toss and their full bore scatter blast, they have some pretty insane long-range burst damage for these heroes.
It's the toss mainly, right?
It's the toss mainly.
Insane.
It is definitely.
It's so much damage.
Yeah, did Laura actually pick up? I've seen what some people are doing. It obviously does not solve the issue of the damage, but I've seen a lot of people picking up raindrops and stuff just to endure the toss.
It feels like you might need something. I mean, at the moment, right, he's at least with the Q. Time Q is trying to go for that blink dagger rush, so very much feels that he's got to be that way to get things started and be the one to jump in first.
So far, Falcons with a very nice lead, though. 4-1, all 3 cores farming, Sven under no pressure, and there's a brood problem. There's absolutely a brood problem.
Yeah, that's the main thing. There's not a soon available clear answer to the fact that Amar has had a very free lane.
They're going to try. They're going to bring the Primal with the disruption.
They got to get him out of this lane. They got to try and shut him down. They'll
get the grab.
With the pulverize, nice. They should have the burst. They do. Goes the way you want to see it go as well if your Team Spirit. Radan able to get the final touch and take Amar down.
It's got to go like that, right? Like, Collapse has to be the one to pretty much move in the early game every time to get the catch. He's going to immediately go through the portal right afterwards, so it's a really solid move to at least shut down the Brood. But the net worth so far, you can see the Falcons still just getting way more out of the map, at least here in this early laning phase.
Amar still able to be annoy Radan from the grave there. Was able to snipe his courier up into the spiders.
Mira walking up the hill
there
blind.
for Falcons, yeah, they were very set up for that quick kill.
And immediately the Morphin comes back to lane. Amar is there again, and they're probably like, we might have to just somehow swing Collapse back up there soon again.
Like, you just keep doing this over and over again, because despite the fact that they made that move and they succeeded, but this net worth, it just continues to grow for Falcons.
It's a difficult call to make, really is. Laurel, again, getting chased, so much stun, so much damage. Great blocks.
Yeah, blocks here from Malrine. Toss again, look. Easy kills in this mid. I mean, Spirit, this is a rough early game to try and get through and to try and make the call of what to do. I mean, you just have to avoid fights completely, let Falcons get what they want, and just hope that Radan on his Morphlings eventually able to carry you to success.
I think you probably just have to rely on Collapse for your early game at this point. Make sure that every single one of these Primal Beast rotations hit. If they don't, definitely going to be some big issues that happen when the map starts shrinking. We do see Radan, though, his net worth isn't so bad, right? Versus the Sven in comparison, at the least, he's only about 300 behind. It just, they need to find places to open up the map for him, and bottom does look like it's going to be that place for now. But they've already lost that top tower. Brood takes it so much faster, and this tower is not dropping too fast at all. They don't want to swing Laurel down. Laurel doesn't have ulti. He's just hitting some jungle creeps for the time being. So it does take him a little bit longer to bring down this tower, which means Brood is poking tier 2, Owen. The tier 2 is half HP top.
Uh-oh.
Got to bring Collapse up there.
I mean, yeah, this Brood is getting to proportions in which...
Oh! He caught him with the toss.
I mean, toss, it's an incredible... It's a spell in the game of Dota 2, Fog.
It is.
It is a spell of all time.
Oh, and things are crumbling quick. 8-2. The mid tower now in jeopardy as well. Falcons speeding things up
yeah, they're
quickly
crushing
here.
it. They really are.
It's a blink dagger, I believe, on Malrine already. It's going to become... It's 20 gold away, but he's already playing around mid. He's got it now finished. And he does, of course, find Fairy Trinket. I do have to point that out as well, too. So even more toss damage, of course.
I mean, I guess this is the problem when you're drafting against Falcons. There's kind of so many things that have got to go. But after this, I feel like you've at least got to take the Brood and the Tiny. Or something. These two... Malrine on the Tiny, it seems completely busted.
I think Tiny's
gotta go. The hero is just at a base level. You know, Malrine is just pushing it to his limits, and then Amar and the Brood. How can you let this happen? I mean, he's 6.5k net worth, 11 minutes in. He's smashing these timings on his the Orchid. I mean, and everything to follow after. You can only imagine it's going to come out at incredible timing. He's just getting so much.
Anyone who comes up is dead, even
I can't
Collapse.
imagine any team here wants to play against this Broodmother. Top lane, they get the setup. The TPs are coming in, so they might be able to do something in response.
Okay, Miposhka's there.
They get the save.
Can they counteract it at all?
Collapse still might die. He's got to run away. Onslaught off to the side. The kisses are coming in. Is Kraven to find him with the connection?
Just
he is.
Needed. And Laurel now.
The kill. They're turning over towards Laurel. They're going to almost certainly get him as well. The Avalanche comes in. Crypt with the double as he snipes him with the scatter
base
blast.
isn't safe.
Amar's diving the tier 3s. He's just 12 minutes in, and he's going to get away with it. Miposhka's dead.
These guys are too good. This is devastating. I mean, the early game is broken. We're already into the mid game. It's 12 minutes in. They've got Mech, they've got Blink, they've got Orchid, they've got key timings on pretty much every hero, it feels like already. Tier 2 already under a ton of pressure. And the Morphling, the problem is Morphling can't help you. Now that everything's kind of gone away and gone so poorly, Morph can't turn up to kind of help and fix any of these problems. Mira,
he's got to run.
One more toss is all it takes if they want to chase.
I mean, they're doing so well so far and having such a lead. We might not even get to the point where we get to see the cool red crab on the back of the Tiny.
That's very true.
The game might be over before then. We'll see the replay again once more of this dive up top. I mean, there was a point where the TPs come in, you know, Collapse isn't dying too quickly. They get the save off. It's like, okay, maybe Team Spirit's able to get out of this alive with their cause. But spoiler, they weren't able to, Fog.
No. And they don't have a response. There's not really damage, to be honest with you. I see, you know, Miposhka, good TP to save people, but Hoodwink's still not level 6. Everybody's full HP anyway, but they're just getting ran at and dove too far. The 1-by-1 there from Spirit.
I've never seen any tier 3 dives at 12 minutes in throughout the whole of the play-in stage so far. And here we go straight into the groups. First game for Falcons. They're here, and yeah, first game, they're diving tier 3s at 12 minutes in.
Yeah. I think Tiny's probably the most one to go, because I think, what, it's had a 90% contest rate so far, even in the play-ins.
This hero is crazy. You give it to a team like Falcons, you give it to a player like Malorine, it's you're playing Dota 2 on the hardest of difficulties.
Yeah, even though Laurel, as we said, you know, he had a very good matchup in the mid lane. He actually pulled off very, very well. Just 1 or 2 rotations. They don't have a kill threat onto Malorine, and then Malorine apparently just has massive kill threat, even though it's DK, who's supposedly this tanky hero. Does not look like it.
We heard as well, Yatoro changed his name. One of the reasons why, because he's an Elden Ring enjoyer.
Sure.
He likes games that are hard. He likes the suffering. But this is kind of, you know, this is
maximum.
This is Elden Ring on a difficulty that's a bit above that of the game itself. So this game a little bit harder.
It's probably on one of the hardest modes you possibly can. Your Morphling has a not even a Yasha, and there's the blood. You know, the Orchid already finished up time ago. Map definitely gonna shrink. Spirit have to at least try to play more of like not being 1-by-1 TPs or anything like that, but even if they do go as a unit at this point, they have fallen so far behind so fast. The Chen almost similar net worth as that DK now at this point. So Laurel's timing's just... he's gonna blink, but what's gonna happen with the blink afterwards? They'll maybe be able to get a kill or two, but overall in a fight, it's gonna be disastrous. I mean, Amar, already knowing, he's high-fiving these towers, knowing how big of an advantage they already have. And they're not going to let up. Smooth.
Just sort of sweep across the map, take these towers, and know that there's very little, really, that Spirit can do in terms of showing up. At the moment, yeah, it's Radan on his Morphling that has the most farm.
Another one.
He's not going to want to be involved in any sort of action. They could kill anyone, plus more.
Literally anybody. There's definitely no team fight that can come out here from Spirit.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Sven also has Skater's had a quiet game, but a very nice one. He's just like, thank you guys, great job. Seen this a couple of times, of course, here for Falcons when they just demolish that mid and off lane. And Snag looks like he wants to at least apply some pressure onto the tier 2 mid. And Pushka says he wants his team to defend here. If they do overextend, that's where Spirit can look to fight back, as long as they have the numbers, but they need absolutely everybody, it feels like, and they still could lose people.
Allah's got his blink.
Okay.
They're going to come out for a smoke, but it's definitely one of those situations in which he knows he's got to be the one that has to go in.
And it's versus Mech and
it's
Hand of
going to
God.
feel pretty terrifying going in. Because if you go in, you're probably not coming out alive at this point unless something absolutely fantastic happens behind you. They're going to try and jump the Chen, see if they can burst Snaking. I mean, Snaking only barely gets brought down to half HP. Miro, can he line up the sharp shot? Onto Amar he can, but not onto Snaking. So Snaking's able to heal up. That's the Blink Dagger reveal, and kind of as expected, didn't do a whole lot at this point, Fog.
No. Snag patient, just waiting to get the opportunity to use the Mac. He still has Hand of God.
Yeah. He didn't even break a sweat out of being jumped like that. You could see indeed he was, you know, but not spam pressing all the abilities, the items. He knew he was perfectly fine, despite Team Spirit trying their best to target what on paper at this point should be the easier hero to kill. But even that hero, pretty much impossible to kill as it seems. Yeah. Falcons 10k net worth lead here, 15 minutes in.
They're covering each other nicely too, right? If they go on the Chen, you see Malorine just instantly stuns, covers the backline so there's no follow-up. And I didn't see it, but there might be like a cookie to disjoint the stun that comes out there from the Hoodwink as well too. So they have all these ways to kind of counter the jump that can come out from Spirit. And now they're just getting so big at this point. Skater's level 13. He hasn't even had to get really involved. He's going to have Blink as well, too, so they can force the issue. And speaking of force the issue, looks like it's Roshan time. And Spirit, not in a realm of being able to contest that.
No, not at all. This is... I mean, we did see some kind of one-sided games during the play-in stage, but this one's up there.
It definitely is. It's not over at 16-minute marks per se in terms of buildings dying, but it might be over in terms of per se of how much pressure Falcons can make. Radan getting closer to Manta, which is one of his big timings, but his other two cores just have nothing. They've gotten nothing yet. Collapse getting closer to BKB.
Radiant's bottom tower.
At least for like a straight-up team fight, but Falcons just getting more and more. Wonder what Amar is going to look to purchase. Sitting on 3.3k.
Oh, yeah. Has he got anything queued up?
He's been queuing up a lot of things. Okay. He's switched it like 8 times. So.
Oh, Lincoln's feels a bit too safe for him, though. Oh, he's going to do it. He's a sensible man here.
He might just want to close it up. Oop, having some lag. They might just look to like go for a high ground push with this Aegis on. I think it's a possibility.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if they were ready to dive tier 3s at 12 minutes in, I think with an Aegis at this point and this lead, they're certainly ready to go again. Get in there, get some sort of toss back setup. I mean, we saw there as well, Skitty just picked up his Blink Dagger, so multiple ways to get in and start the fight. And many a hero that do not mind jumping straight into the base with how strong they are at this point in time on Team Falcons.
Crit also getting very close to a vessel, so these heroes are quite far away from those BKBs besides Collapse. Great versus the triple cores. All three of them can suffer, even though if there's going to be a Manta from the Morphling, you can only dispel so many things. They're getting all these timings, and they're prepared for, I would imagine, every single one of these fights. So Spirit just has to be careful, just to really split and hope. It's a big hope, of course, but that they can hope to get this Morphling to a stage where he feels comfortable, but that feels like it's a very, very long time away.
Let's see. Apologies again, ladies and gentlemen, for this momentary pause, but it looks like all the players are on their way back into the lobby. I think we're still just missing Malrine.
It just looked like a little bit of lag for a second there.
And we'll be able to see what Falcons want to do next with the Aegis.
They're set up for mid. Like, Crit's already in a position where he can left the TP fast to the mid tower, so if they want to just, they can defend this tower, they can pressure as well too to force TPs back, but I imagine they probably don't want Spirit to get literally anything extra out of the map, so just defending the tier 1, killing whoever does show. They might even just swing and just fight. So Spirit just have to be very aware of that and keep trying to attempt to, split push, get the farm up for this Morph, but it's a tall ask.
Here we go, back in action. Let's see what they want to get done.
Trying to poke mid.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So dangerous to even poke here. Yeah, Laurel literally hits the tower twice and instantly blinks out. Just a very scary position.
Fortification has come out immediately here from Spirit. As soon as Falcons show themselves on the high ground, they quickly TP back over towards the mid.
Keeping the front TP fast still. You see them preparing this defense. Malrine TP is tier 2, so front TP, they're probably telling each other, TP is a fast one if they do look to go for a play. Maposhka? Won't get caught by the stun. Right on the outskirts. But they deter that push in mid. Everyone on Spirit trying to find farm where they can on the map. Maybe even cutting waves, it looks like, just to stop any extra pressure onto these lanes, but this tier 2 mid, one more hit, it's pretty much dead.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's kind of like, this desperation mode from Spirit, just trying to find what they can.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Malrine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ready to make that jump if he catches sight of any of them. There's 3 of them right now playing around this point.
Find a courier,
Now,
know where they are.
The Greaves recipe, so quite a nice snipe for them to find.
Might get another too. Yep, they'll find another courier as well too, so decent
That's the
little
vessel.
kills. Yep.
So yeah, 2 big item upgrades that Falcons won't have to play with.
Yep, and they're cutting waves too. Laurel starting to get a bit of farm here. The Manta finished up for Radon, so even though he's still quite a ways away from that Sven, starting to get at the least his itemization. And he is going to do the build that we've seen him do in pretty much every single one of his Morphling games and more. Just Manta straight into the butterfly if he's able to. It's gonna take time. See if they can buy that time. They do have good hero. They have these annoying heroes to cut waves. The Hoodwink in particular. Might get caught this time around. Skeeter's right on top of him, but is being very pesky.
Now this time Malrine ready to make sure that they're not able to cut the creep wave. Mira is out with the TP. They have managed to grab the creeps once more, so can look to try and push down the mid.
They stopped the entire acceleration in the last 4 minutes.
They did. They've slowed it down.
At least for Spirit, right? Yes, it's been kind of consistent, just sitting at that 10K since they got the Aegis. And yeah, they're just waiting for at least a timing. BKB is done for Collapse. They do have that Manta on that Morphling as well too. DK still a bit of ways away from another item. He actually has a Mage Slayer coming out, so maybe with 3 core, if they see an opportunity of Falcon overextending, they can punish Mira. Probably won't be so lucky.
Just immediately burst there. Orchid into the scatter blast and the toss, and now up to the high ground they go. Team Spirit, what do they got? Collapse has got his BKB, so does have a way to get in there, but at the same time, I don't think they'll struggle too much to kill him off through the BKB, especially when they're just grouped up as this fight, man. They're pushing these buildings. I mean, Spirit,
And they're not overextending.
they can't do anything. Godstrength's popped by Skeeter. He's able to take his, ready to swing around towards the mid and maybe just go for more.
Spirit has to hope for an overextension, but Falcons is just playing for the buildings. They're playing for the objectives for now.
Radiant's bottom
Got a jump.
He's in with a jump. They're going to see if they can try and burst through
Nice
the
toss
fan. There's going to be a toss back to safety. But Collapse is never getting on top of the three of them. Bursting blow.
damage.
They're able to take Skeeter down. Collapse looks over towards
Second
Snakey.
down.
Gets the grab as well. On towards Amar. They're taking out the Chen. They're taking out the Brute. They're taking out the
They
four
might
of
get the
them.
Tiny too.
Marine's the last one left alive, but the Bushwhack setup's there. Sure, he's got the Aegis, but on his own, they should be able to deal with him twice.
Oh
Team
my
Spirit,
goodness.
they're able to hold. They only lose the top set of racks. They won't be losing the mid set of racks, and they'll be keeping this game alive. Long with a triple kill. This game, it ain't over yet, and
They're
it
back
won't
in
be
it.
a stomp fogged.
Nope, they're completely back in it, honestly.
Wow.
That is
That
an
team
amazing
wide-
jump. Collapse catches everybody with the charge
Yeah,
through,
check
right?
this out again.
They're all clumped up. He hits all the
It was the
creeps
way they
and
went.
3
Right, Lyle gets
heroes.
the call to get. He starts things onto the Sven. It's a nice toss back, but indeed Collapse straight in on top of them. Knows to go straight over to the side. Doesn't need to grab Snake King as he knows he's going to get caught in the AoE at the slams as he pounds down Amar with a pulverize. Beautiful defense, and honestly one that I don't think Falcons saw coming.
I don't
they
think
felt
anyone
very much
did.
in control of this game. They quickly took the top racks. They were ready to go straight away for the mid racks. They underestimated Spirit's defense, and now with that, there's only a 4K gold difference now with the Tormentor being taken, but considering what it was before, Spirit, they're absolutely back in it. Look at some of the individual net worths, right? Radan,
They're pretty much back.
He's
Yeah.
caught right back up.
Absolutely.
He's up there. Lars pretty close behind. Spirit, they're here to give us a game.
I'm sure Falcons is kicking themselves a little bit with how much they stacked. Collapse literally hit everybody. It was like 3 or 4 heroes he gets with the charge through, and all of the Chen creeps as well, too. They tried for a toss back, but Spirit.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I think, without a doubt, one of those situations that, Falcons, they turn up, this is the first game, they're like, we're crushing this, and then this maybe got a little too comfortable, and indeed get caught off guard, as you said, with their
stacked up.
positioning.
Yeah. Thought it would require more of an overextension, but it seems like if they just stack like that and Collapse gets that type of charge through,
Oh, yeah.
it's beautiful.
And he's going to be even more ready for it next time, trying to get this Veil into the Shiva's guard.
They also have, I believe that is that the butterfly pretty much done? It's almost there.
Radan, like, his farm has just skyrocketed after that cleanup in that fight. He's up there, level with Skeeter. And again, just a crazy swing back. Sure, the gold overall lead is still there for Falcons, but you just can't underestimate just how big of a swing that was, considering how much it looked like Falcons were potentially moments away from maybe even closing the game if they played it right.
Absolutely. With all these auras that they're building up on the Chen, right? They're still going to look to probably ball up, look for another play here. They have the BKB on the Sven.
Big stuff here from Spirit.
They've completely caught it back up.
Radan's getting the chance to go, and now the game is absolutely a point. Even if like the next fight also doesn't go too great for Spirit.
They can stall.
Yeah, this Morph, Radan on his Morphling, he's ready to carry.
Yep, and Mira even too. Mira did not go down the route of the Atos first. He knows he has to play for the farm, so Maelstrom to be able to keep that farm going to delay the game more. And Laurel now does have a secondary item finished up after that Mage Slayer just off of that one fight.
Are they going to try and go against Falcons?
They still want to try to close it up
Sure.
and get one big opening to take that next rack. So Spirit has to be careful with their positioning.
Sure, but this time they don't have the Aegis. Sure,
They do not.
First, you would imagine we're not going to see them get caught in the same fashion that they did on that last failed push by by Falcons.
Spirit's ready for this move though. Look, DK already comes
They've got
back.
items.
They're prepared for this pressure play from Falcons. Super fast butterfly timing. I mean, especially with all things considered.
Yep.
They're actually going to smoke and maybe catch Falcons off guard here.
Maureen's watching from the high ground, but they're ready to get the jump on him with the Dragon Tail. Collapses in with the follow. They're looking to burst through the Tiny. Maureen's gone in an instant.
He even used the BKB, but they get the grab right away. Now they all got to run.
Now Falcons have got to back off. Very, very impressive stuff there from Spirit.
Snay still playing in the area, but they don't have their Tiny. Laurel's going to jump in
again.
for him.
There's going to be the setup and Collapse. He's ready with the follow-up. Straight in with the onslaught over towards Snake King. Crit Skitter. Is there anything they could do to help their Chen out? I don't think so. Collapse blocking off the escape of Snake King as he'll go down.
And Crit
also in trouble. Ooh, he's able to TP away just in time before the Dragon Tail comes out and connects on towards him. So he'll escape. But again, this is Spirit getting out of their base, being able to make these moves, and Falcons. Just the game, the grasp they had on the game, it's absolutely slipping away.
It's gone. I mean, there's no lead anymore at all. Even if it's like a 1K or whatever like that, it's Spirit now perhaps in the driving seat themselves. You can feel that Falcons maybe wanted to get something else with that push, with the Malrine positioning, try to catch someone off guard so they can get a push, but Falcons now maybe the ones in trouble. Spirit. Some excellent macro plays.
They're looking great, and Radan just continuing to hold that top spot. And if sort of the dynamic of the game continues, you can only imagine this Morph is going to stay a step ahead of the Sven.
And he's got a great 1v1 matchup there.
Yep.
So there's no Bloodthorn. I mean, the Brute, of course, can switch up to go for the Bloodthorn, but Amar... I mean, maybe Amar's reconsidering. Like, he's probably like, man, this Lincoln's actually didn't really do what I wanted it to.
It kind of didn't, right. It honestly, it felt kind of un-Amari. I thought he would go for something a bit more aggressive and for the quick kills, but actually took the safer route.
And maybe he was thinking he can just block like the DK stun or one of those primal jumps on the initial go, and they could have closed things out, but that was not the case in Spirit. Feeling so much more comfortable. Everyone now has those big core items as well to fight back. Falcons, they're going to try again to go for it, but it feels like they're trying to force the issue here.
For sure, and I think the big time is going to be when Radan's able to get the BKB on top of the Manta.
Yep.
You know, this kind of game, you give him the BKB and the Manta, it's very unlikely he'll die in these team fights, and you can guarantee he's going to be able to get a huge amount done.
Can Falcons get the catch on him when he's not ready? Miposhka is at the ready. He's got backup too. It seems like they always know this move is coming. Even Laurel TPing back just in case they know the fight's coming in. Yeah, just super well prepared. BKB looks to be the call there for Amar. So they do have triple BKB timing on the side of Falcons to be able to take a fight.
Radiant are scanning.
But unless they really catch Radan by surprise, killing this Morph is going to be incredibly difficult.
Shivas is also finished up
Collapse.
for Collapse.
He's ready to go. I mean, really, the main man when it came to keeping this game alive for them.
He has been very clutch on his Primal Beast in a lot of situations. Let's see if Falcons is ready for this, if they're able to get a jump themselves. Problem is they're actually under a ward right now, so Malrine is completely under vision. Spirit have their pick of the litter for a second here. Smoke on smoke.
This could be quite the fight for Spirit. Got slightly the better information. Sure, Falcons have the sort of better area to hold from, but Spirit know exactly what they're walking into. They know that they're all here.
So watch the positioning of these supports. Miposhka's pretty deep.
They're going to get the jump over towards him, but Collapse comes over in return. He's got the pulverize to hold the tiny position, but the BKB is already out. They turn, they take down Miposhka. Now they look over towards Collapse. Collapse have put the Shiva's guard, trying to draw their attention away from the rest of the team. Sharpshooter comes in. Toss over towards the DK. Lyle turns with the Dragon Tail onto Skeeter. Radan turns into the Tiny. Avalanche onto the two of them. He's got the toss burst damage on towards Amar, not enough to kill him. An immediate buyback from Miposhka as he looks to rejoin the fight. Lyle getting chased down by Falcons. They'll bring him low. They'll bring him down as Lyle will fall. See if Radan can do any sort of a cleanup. He's got his eyes on Skeeter. He's going to bail out. Realizes this fight is no longer a fight that they want to take. Miposhka, he'll go down a second time. Falcons, they'll take the fight, and with that, they'll be able to claim their shot.
So cool the way they take the fight. They see Miposhka steps up for a quick second. He wants to go for... I'm actually surprised he's the one that goes for the D ward himself, because he reveals his positioning there. They instantly jump him, and they don't have the save. The Sven is able to just pretty much beat on whichever target he wants. Bit of a mistake there this time from Spirit. Falcons capitalize massively. They do lose the Chen, but either way, well worth it. Skeeter able to hit these targets nicely this time around in the fight.
Yeah, and you can see as well, you know, for Radan on the Morph, he was watching kind of the way it started that fight, and with sort of how quickly his teammates were going down, there was only so much he could do. He knew exactly when to bail out and know that that was not the fight to fully commit for. Is everybody gets next item done now? Satanic finished on the Morph link.
He had to be cautious because he did lose the SD so early, so the save was gone, and then, you know, Collapse did end up dying afterwards, so Radan, he does spend his gold, which could cause him into some issues. But with Satanic, very survivable, but if he does get caught and popped, things could just close out quickly again also.
I mean, it's necessary to spend up here. The rest of the team, right, doesn't have buybacks. You lose a fight here. Even if you have a buyback on the Morph, the rest of the team don't, it's probably game over. So they're going all in. Gleipnir's been finished up on Mirror.
And it's still, at the end of the day, it is still difficult for Falcons, as we saw in the last one. Going that high ground the secondary time, I don't know if they'll make that same mistake versus Collapse again.
Sure. How do you want to go about doing it differently if you're Falcons then? How do you try and approach the high ground here? Do you not quite do that yet? Do you look for the tier 2 bottom?
I think you maybe just still farm it up. Smoke out from Spirit to maybe catch them off guard here. Since they have the Aegis and Cheese, there's this ward, but the scan will catch them perfectly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Spirit Do get caught here by the scan.
And now Skeeter does have MKB, so he has this matching damage item to be able to deal versus that butterfly that was picked up pretty early from Riyadh. So does have an answer, and of course they can go down the route of the Bloodthorn if they want to. Of course on Amar, he still is thinking. He's been switching his itemization like 8 different times still, thinking what he does want to go for. Falcons reestablishing themselves after one big fight around that rush. Aegis and Cheese. Ooh, and amp damage now also for Skeeter. Overall for Spirit, do have to be careful from... I think Miposhka just has to be much more careful with his positioning up in this upcoming fight. He cannot be that far up to go for some type of D-ward.
Set up on the high ground. They know the Falcons are coming for them. Team Spirit.
Tough fight versus this amp damage, Sven. Skeeter. Is he just gonna jump in? He's thinking about it.
Bilal, he's good with the jump as well. The turn was out the way to get the stun on towards it. The bushwhack's there. Straight away, Skeeter turns towards Mirror. The collapse holds Skeeter back. Mirror will go down, but the Aegis is taken out of the hands of Skeeter. So what he's ready to do on round 2 is come up with a blink out. Team Spirit, they want to try and chase. They are one hero down without the hoping. They get the Dragon Tail opening onto Mallory. Collapse thinking about charging forward, but he'll hold back from this.
Don chasing in still. He's got the Insatiable. Forward.
Doesn't want to try and lead in on this. They'll take this. They lose the support, but they're able to take the Aegis away, and they're able to stop the push.
Very cool. Scary, this Morphling, when he turns into the Brood, pops the Insatiable Hunger, shifts back, and he actually has double damage pretty much. I think it was plus 300 there that I saw on this Morphling, so Falcons will give the respect to that. That was a crazy jump from them, too, just waltzing into high ground blind to go for it.
And the high ground attempts, other than that top set of barracks that they're able to find, Falcons haven't been going too hot for them, despite having the lead, having these map objectives in their favor, such as the Aegis.
It's where it's hard to find these Shadow Demons and these Savers. It allows Collapse without a Blink Dagger in the base to get these easier initiations a lot of the time. Like a Skeeter just jumps in and forces it. It gives a natural initiation. How many misses was it? I think one of those got absorbed by a tree, but either way. And yeah, look at Radahn's damage. They instantly know they have to reset when that Insatiable gets popped by him, so good on Falcons to be able to get that reset. And I did see the Halberd, of course, coming out there from Mar, so looking to be more of a preventative carry, anti-carry kind of in a way as this Broodmother. Feels like a different kind of style from Amar than I feel like we used to see.
Yeah, I guess it just feels what obviously has two very solid kind of carry-esque heroes in the two other roles, right? This Tiny and Sven.
Hey, he does still scale super hard as it gets to the later stages anyway, because you're a Broodmother, so you're still universal and you get your crazy 25 attack speed, but not the route that I fully expected from Amar. And they're keeping their net worth on those two cores in particular very, very good to be able to keep the scaling versus the Morph. Even though Malrine falling behind a little bit, they do have the scaling on those two. And the supports too, I have to be honest. Crit has really kept up with the pace as the Snapfire, even though it's been like kind of constant pushing, that sometimes maybe your supports can struggle when getting that net worth. Crit's been able to keep it there.
We'll see now Falcons want to try and make a move whilst they don't have the Aegis. The last two times they were sent back and waited for the Roche, but that has only given really time for Riyadh to continue to just grow this lead.
Checking what other, I mean, they do have a couple item timings that are soon being hit as well too. The Condo's about to be done for Malrine. They almost have Sven's next item as well too. I believe the Satanic, so maybe just waiting for those to all coincide together before they look for that next big fight. Well, for Spirit, I'm sure Riyadh is just telling them, like, let me just keep farming. If I can get to this later stage of the game, I can probably be able to carry this. They did get another item timing though. Laurel, 18, and he's got the Aghanims.
Radiant are scanning.
Might be able to catch off guard here. They have this ward that's outside. Amar, if he's not careful, might just get caught.
Just outside of vision, they're able to put the Linkers again in with a follow-up stun. They've got the pushback as well. They're able to lock him down, take him out. No sort of heals coming out from Snaking. Will be able to save him.
Playing on that vision perfectly. The 70 seconds, they could look to go for another kill here. Can they find anybody immediately? All the Falcons splitting up.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, both teams just really understand how to play this map pretty beautifully. The moment one gets pressured, the other just splits back up, gets that farm continue going.
Check again on the replay there.
He's playing like just in and out of that vision you see there, but then boom, they get that catch. Lincolns will only help for so much. Isn't able to get that BKB off.
Falcons continuously just getting sort of shaken up, despite the lead that they hold.
I mean, they're still keeping it. Somehow they're still keeping it, even though this Morphling continues to get online. They're keeping that farm super high. And that they're not really like overreacting or anything. The Brood dies, nobody kind of panics. They keep their farm. They're waiting for that Brood to respawn because Amar, if he does get BKB off in a lot of those situations, might just be able to survive. But again, Radon, another item has been finished up. I believe that is his. Is that the Scotty pretty much done?
He's got it done. He's got it done. Yeah, this Morphling is massive.
I'm gonna try to keep tabs of how much damage he has, because maybe that's also why Amar did go for the Lincolns. I was trying to like think more besides just the DK stun, the primal thing. It's to prevent the Morph from turning into the Brood, getting insatiable hunger, because it's legit a double damage. It makes this Morph absolutely out of control.
Yeah, maybe so the matchup able to sort of be turned on its heads now that the game goes on. I mean, Falcons with this lineup and deep with their play early, they were not expecting this game to still be going 36 minutes in if everything was going to go to plan for Falcons.
Look at this wraparound. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Quietness set up onto the two, and the pushback as well onto Skeeter, toss up into the side, but at the same time, Radon and La, they're able to get over to the back lines, take Snaking out.
Falcons is fully split up.
And they're ready to go and help join the rest of the team as Malreen's BKB is going to soon come to a finish collapse. He's got the control with the pulverized Lal and Radon looking to bring over the damage to try and threaten Malreen. Jump forward from Lal. Sentries down. They've got the detection. Again with the bushwhacks from Mira holding Skeeter back, so Skeeter cannot get involved in this fight. A beautiful onslaught from collapse over the two of them. Skeeter, he's going to likely fall through the BKB as Radon takes him down. Jump forward. They're not done yet. They'll look to Amar. He's got the BKB still at the ready there, so will manage to get out in time and avoid the stun. They're trying to chase though, Radon, seeing if he can get his hands on the Spider, but Amar, a bit too speedy, will make it back to the safety of the base. Still their Spirit, they take the 3 heroes down, and now 37 minutes in, Spirit, they take the gold lead.
That was versus the Cheese too. Kind of awkward to start there for the fight for Falcons. They're trying to go for a wraparound, and it's pretty much the worst hero that they could have get started on first. The Chen gets caught from the Morph. They don't get any spells off there. They might just lose. They might just lose the set here.
Yeah, no Skeeter, no Mallory, neither of them with buyback. And the push for Spirit is pretty severe here with Radon beating into the tier 3s, exposing the barracks. I mean, they have to probably just at least let this set go. And there's still a tier 2 up in the mid lane, so Spirit won't be able to immediately swing across.
But they're looking for another catch.
But they are setting up on the side lanes, and Amar, of course, BKB is still on cooldown for 35 seconds. Collapses in with a set of him.
Almost just kills him.
Very close to. Amar lucky to get away from this one.
Lincoln's definitely saving his life since he can't get grabbed, get some tower push going, but that one feels where its Spirit has completely blown open the game. I thought the last one probably was, but Falcons did some impressive moves to bring things back over that Roche. Now this Morph getting critical mass. And now I'm seeing the supports be able to cast their spells on the Sven too. I think I saw Skeeter get like 2 attacks off in that last fight. He just got purged. Gleipnir fully CC'd here from Mira and from Miposhka. So it feels like it's getting harder and harder for Falcons to be able to take those fights versus this Morph.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, Radon has 28k net worth. Now, Radon on his Morph, he doesn't really tend to lose games when he's got this sort of a lead.
No, and now they're the ones to be able to finally get the Roche too for themselves. Falcons feeling like they did need that one to be able to have a fighting chance in these next upcoming fights. And let's see if they look to go for just some type of like team pressure move or something like that, because it seems like the team fights overall now feel too difficult since Collapse he really can just charge through. Especially with this Aghanims, gonna be very strong.
I think was that Miposhka who took the axe from Roche?
I believe so, because he can just double purge the Sven. I think it's all about just controlling Skeeter. I need the 3 cores, right? The triple melee cores can definitely suffer versus that SD, so they already have it on the 2 important ones. Falcons. Can they somehow reestablish this game? Versus a Morphling with their lineup. Feels very difficult, but if there's any team that can do it, perhaps it can be them. But again, it does feel very difficult now at this point with an Aegis on the Morph. And they did, I believe, yeah, Falcons did lose their gem also on that last one, so they are carrying that one as well on the side of Spirit. And an Aeon Disc on the Shadow Demon, so Miposhka can play in a bit of a better positioning too.
Sure.
He can play a little more aggressively.
Yeah, he's always going to get these purges off. It's going to be very, very difficult to stop him from playing his hand in the team fights.
Rattle Cage for Collapse, big chunk of armor versus the Sven, all these little, I mean, I say little things. These big things do add up, of course. Ogre Steel Totem also for the Shadow Demon for positioning. Falcons, what's the next timing?
It's sort of hard to find. I
really
feel like, you know, Falcons with this lineup, they were all in on kind of plan A.
Yeah.
I don't know if necessarily plan B was here with this draft. They felt that this game should have been over 25 minutes in. They weren't able to do it. They have that slip up. It gets heavily punished by Spirit. And now Falcons are having to play a different type of game with this lineup that they weren't expecting to play.
They had like that little, maybe like not like a plan B, but it was like that little mini plan B, the Roche where they kind of came it back. Because I thought at that point that was where the Morph was going to fully just take over, but they did do a big comeback. But now, is there another one that they can actually do? Maybe just catching people off guard with like a Hex or something like that, or maybe the Tiny Burst catches people off guard, but Spirit now in full stride, getting their own push going. Catapults.
Amar
should be fine.
It's going to be okay. Another Force also picked up by Snaking, just trying to make sure they have some sort of tool to break the core out of whatever combo gets laid down onto them by Team Spirit in these pushes.
The big thing Falcons still do have is the toss-back mechanic, right? So they still can always stall and be able to catch heroes if Spirit does play out of position. So Spirit does still have to be a bit careful with how they look to pressure. Don't want to be split up at all. So I imagine just group up here for the push.
One thing's for sure so far from Spirit, we've seen them be definitely more cautious about how they go about the high ground in comparison to what Falcons have been tripped up upon in this game one.
Spirit are definitely quite a bit more careful. They just send these Morphling illusions. Tower's dropping. Someone's going to have to show. Amar will. And they saw the Scatter Blast from the right side, so they know that Falcons is smoked up somewhere here for the push.
One thing's for sure so far from Spirit, we've seen them be definitely more cautious about how they go about the high ground in comparison to what Falcons have been tripped up upon in this game one.
Spirit are definitely quite a bit more careful. They just send these Morphling illusions. Tower's dropping. Someone's going to have to show. Amar will. And they saw the Scatter Blast from the right side, so they know that Falcons is smoked up somewhere. Toss to just clear a wave. Malrine will just be able to delete that one. So the push at the least is stopped for Falcons.
That's level 25 for Radahn now with that Wisdom Rune.
Malrine has found an amp damage. Okay, maybe that is the other difference maker, if he can actually get just a big one-shot or something like that onto some of these heroes. Not easy, though. As we said, Miposhka, Aeon Disc, and that's the one that they want to go for in most situations, so. How does Falcons approach this fight?
A minute left on the Aegis. Radahn's ready to get stuck in. Straight up to the barracks. I'll get the fortification out. TPs to come into play from Falcons as they're going to try and start to set up something.
Toss back.
And see if they can do it the once. They get the toss back on towards the Morph. Can they burst through him? He's able to put the man to the catch up with the cookies on afterwards. They've taken the Aegis out of his hands. The barracks, of course, have been taken. See round two on the Morphling. Radahn able to get away with the waveform. BKB's been popped here by Skidder. Can he get his hands on anyone? Look over towards Lyle, but Lyle's forced out of the base, forced again up to the high ground.
Beautiful force.
They'll keep Lyle safe. So the barracks are gone. They lose the Aegis, but it was going to be timing out anyway.
Perfect
Everything
timing.
continues to go fully in the control and favor of Spirit.
That's God's Strength used as well, so they can look to re-go as soon as it does wear off. They know.
Oh, and they're ready. Smoke up over towards the side. Lyle, is he going to be able to find anyone coming back from the Tormentor? He's definitely going to be tempted to hunt, and he's going to find Snaking. He's out. No buyback on Snaking.
Straight to bottom. They can go. See how comfortable Radahn does feel to do so with the cheese. He also has buyback if necessary. I mean, Malrine's looking, but there's no God Strength. They're going to try.
Well, they get the toss back. So now towards Lyle, they get the stun to follow up, but straight away they're just focusing down the Tiny. Lyle's falling over, Collapse comes crashing with the onslaught. They immediately delete the two of them. Malrine and Amar are dead. they're on to the tier 4s. Buybacks have to come out straight away here from Falcons. Spirit, they'll turn their attention over towards the final set of barracks in the tier 3 down bottom.
How long on God's strength? 8 seconds.
Still no snaking for 30. Tier 3's gone. Mirror
Controlled.
trying to scout things out in the tree line. And Malorini's got the toss back.
They get the stun.
The opening stun, but he's got a lot of HP here. He's sitting full HP and straight away collapse. He's in with a backup, comes in with a pulverize onto Skeeter, takes him out. Skeeter does have buyback, also having to use it immediately.
Radon.
He's looking over towards Amar in the tree line. Amar pots the BKB. Skeeter tries to chase him outside of the base, but the pulverize is there again. Collapse. He's able to grab him once more. It's a dieback on Skeeter.
Wow.
Murray tries to come in with a BKB, but he has to run. They've lost their Sven, they've lost their carry, and they've almost certainly lost this game. GG is called. Team Spirit, with a beautiful hold, turn this game around. Up here and thinking, wow, this is pretty strong stuff.
I feel like Collapse has just been dominating on Primal Beast so hard lately that it's hard to go against it, but Falcons, they've gone for a very similar, it feels like to me at least, of early tempo, kind of looking to shut down the map with this LC pick. That last one with the DK, that synergy to try to take over the map early, is what I think that they are looking at, but we'll have to see if they can, because Spirit, they have a very strong scaling team fight in lineup that it can fight back early. You know, this Primal Beast, we've seen it time and time again be able to just break lineups, especially if they're not careful. And Falcons, especially because of that last one, I think this one, it's like, you can't give a team like Spirit even, I mean, I'm gonna say like an inch, you don't know what that is, but like a centimeter, because they'll take the entire space of it. They'll take a kilometer every single time. They know how to capitalize on any type of these mistakes. And looking at some fun things to point out, since we do have this Sand King mid.
The battle begins.
Just waiting to see if there's gonna be any rune stuff, but looks it's just gonna be
three
this
Spirit.
time. It was 3 last time for Falcons, but
It was, and then they lost.
Yeah.
And now it's 3 for Spirit, and then maybe we'll see what happens.
yeah, so the Sand King, we've been hearing the rumors about this Sandstorm in the mid lane. This Nyx pick, I've been seeing Mira do it a lot more, and the important thing to point out is Nyx's innate ability. Versus Sand King, you see 400, you know, around 400 around, you can see these Invis heroes. So inside the middle of fights, if Mira's alive, it could be annoying for Malrine. They don't even always need a sentry ward or something like that. Just a small thing to point out, but...
I mean, so what is it about Sand King? Because obviously we had that kind of patch, you know, relatively recently, right, where Sand King was pretty busted. But even on that patch, right, people weren't playing in mid. Then he kind of gets nerfed. Does something get changed sort of for a positive that makes him better in the mid? Or what's going on with this sort of stuff?
As far as I saw, the damage got increased, right? Okay. That was kind of the only thing I saw, but overall the Aghanims got really nerfed, so... I don't really know. I've been seeing them doing it all the time in the pubs, especially Malrine and Quinn a couple of games, I believe, but it feels very tough versus Malrine playing Snapfire. That feels like a pretty horrible matchup for the Sand King, but see if Malrine can endure. Because just that melee versus Snap.
Malrine playing Snapfire?
Sorry, Laurel playing Snap.
Both mids?
You know what I'm saying. Whatever. But yeah, Laurel, he should have a very good time versus Malrine, pretty much. And it's not an easy matchup to kind of bring it back. You'll be able to farm at least on Sand King and catch up with some jungle camps and stuff, but Laurel should have a pretty free time.
And talk about this as well.
Let's see.
We heard of some of the benefits right for the panel in terms of picking this Legion as the last pick, but I can't imagine this was ever the go-to because again, this hero in the off lane, we're just not seeing it picked, Fold.
No, it's been nerfed a lot. Maybe they're looking for some type of extra save because Collapse especially was able to get such godly ults off, and now they do have that save for their carry. I'm not sure. Because this doesn't feel like something that Amar's been playing as much recently. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and check.
Yeah, go check out some stats on that, because we haven't seen it from other teams, but indeed, has Amar been keeping up to scratch with his Legion playing
when I
in
saw
pubs?
He was playing mostly the Venges and the Darks here.
Yeah.
I don't believe I saw Legion on the list. And at the next glance, I don't see Legion on his list, at least in the last couple days, so... Must be something they saw in particular about either the press or just the way to be able to pressure the Clinks lane, and that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
It's the pressure the Clinks.
And they might just... No, the Stomp's going to be in place very nicely from the Poshka, so Redan will be saved. Top lane, Collapse and Mira, they're going to try and make it go on towards Snaking. But won't quite have the damage straight up between the two of them. I say that Mira's going to continue to trade.
There's Fire Spirit's back up, but he's
going to win the trade indeed. Comes in with a final nuke to take him out, and he's going to survive as well. First blood for Mira. Great time to strike there. As soon as they hit the level 2s, they went for it, Spirit.
If you're ever getting a first blood in a Nyx lane double melee, you're feeling very good, because a lot of times this hero does not contribute the most in the laning phase. Right now, they're doing excellent. They are getting the CS as well, and the Primal Beast are slowing down the DK, and they get a kill. That is astonishing. Looking at mid, Yeah, Laurel's kind of owning, and I believe Maori now has to do some type of... I've seen him before doing this, but like creep manipulation shenanigans where you're pulling waves into jungle and stuff.
I mean, that's the thing, right, with this hero, I guess, mid. If you do have a rough time in the mid lane, which I guess you never really want... You know, that's never the plan, right? Because you're picking Sand King because you feel it's going to have some benefit in these 1v1s. You can at least hit up the jungle, right?
Yes, you can. But, I mean, even Snap, I'm just like thinking more things. I just watched them doing like the sentry exchange. Snap can kill your sentry before you kill the sentry that gets put down every time because a little shredder as well too. So in theory, Laurel can almost always have it here. But either way, Maureen getting some catch up, but Laurel, he's gonna have this insane farm on the Snapfire.
Wow. We've seen Snap be pretty crazy recently. Right? With the little shredder and the ricochet, this hero can be pretty bonkers.
Oh, absolutely. Even the tanky cores just get shredded, and the timings, of course, when you get the level 15, when you get the 20 talent, it accelerates quite massively. So far, definitely seeing Laurel have that better time. And at the moment now, with their double down, I would say, from the side of Falcons, they put a Legion Ench lane versus an ET Clinks. Doing okay, but the Clinks is getting CS. Because you don't see the Enchantress put in this 4 roll too often. It's specifically because they're versus that ET, and they want to just try to shut down this Clinks as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so far, yeah, Clinks slightly slowed down, but not too much. He's kind of chilling. He's having a better time, actually, than the DK in that opposite side.
Now, honestly, I feel like kind of out of everything that Falcons has got, Amar on the Legion, if he can get the Blade Mail Blink right, this is going to be pretty potent against both the Snapfire and the Clinks.
To be honest, it feels kind of necessary for their draft a bit for him to have
that
this
is
type
the way
of
they kill these heroes.
Yeah, I feel like he has to. Because the DK overall is just getting really slowed down.
What do you say? Does he go for a different build? He doesn't go Blink Blade Mail?
No, I think he can.
He must do, right?
I think he has to.
I
almost
think
has to.
that's the way to play, right?
Yeah.
You don't do anything crazy, you don't do anything different. You jump, you kill the Snap, you kill the Clinks.
I'm watching a Sand King try to recover, and Mira has Mind Flare, and he sees a big creep. Oh, is he just going to steal the jungle from him?
Oh.
He can just walk in. They have that ward that they placed down, so they knew that this matchup was going to be pretty sour for the Sand King, and he's just going to start stealing his jungle.
The gang's going to come in from crit.
All right, nice rotation, but crit? He will live.
Yeah, they really needed that. They needed to shut Lal down a little bit and make this area of the map a bit easier for Malorine to play, because these first few waves ain't been great.
No.
But indeed, Mira is going to make sure that there won't be an additional fallback available for this Sand King.
Beautiful move, though, from crit. That level 3, I think we've seen this Enchantress rotation a lot, but usually comes from the safe lane and usually comes with the secondary support. See if they maybe do it again, since Sand King now might get pretty close to 6. I mean, Malmarine is tipping him because he just went back to his neutrals, and he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, these large creeps are disappearing.
The ones with mana, and Mira's going to take the last one as well, too.
Off we go again.
Maybe he's going to go for the kill first, or scout the rune, and then take it.
I mean, they've got the 3 of the mid here, Team Spirit, so they'd definitely be down to try and get aggressive onto Malorine, but Malorine's staying safe.
This is still a lot of pressure onto this poor Sand King. Kisses are available, tower is getting pressured. Can he drag the wave? He can. But the rune will be given to Laurel. And see if Laurel looks to make a move with this, because he has kisses available. He has kill threat on any of these side lanes. Up top, collapse. Already starting to bring it to Skitter. But Laurel not there just yet.
They're going to go for Radahn. Is he going to get any backup coming in on the bottom lane? He's able to get a quick burst of heal. Maposhka in with the stomp onto Snake King. And Radahn's going to be pretty safe. Diving in, indeed, with all the focus the Falcons are putting down bottom, trying to get Radahn. They're not able to keep their own carry safe. Skeeter dead under the tower. Radahn's perfectly fine against the 3 of them. They're not able to get in and get the damage done onto this Clinks with these 3 heroes.
He's actually about to hit level 6, and now Snake King.
Thinking about turning over to wall Snake King.
He has to be cautious. Radahn, yeah, level 6 is hit, so Panel was saying how sometimes this hero, you think that he's squishy, but Clink's no longer the case, especially when you hit level 5. You get that double point in the Death Pact, and that's exactly what he's done to sustain. This is an amazing early game for Spirit, and Falcons, that's not the way they wanted this game to go with their draft. See how they're going to be able to recover things with the DK under so much pressure, and also their mid laner not only just under pressure in the lane, but under pressure in attempting to find any jungle creeps to catch up.
It's as I said earlier, it's all down to Amar. He's got to carry this one pretty hard from his Legion.
Does feel like it.
With the Blade Mail into Blink.
Collapse is just going for another kill here. Mira's here. Got him.
They really have.
I think this Primal Beast has to go versus Spirit.
It seems a little too good on it.
Collapse is too good at this hero.
Dire's top tower.
That's now two. I mean, the last game, of course, he got shut down super hard, but he was the driving force for the recovery.
Well, that's true. Yeah, if he's able to do what he did in game one after getting crushed in the early game, imagine what Collapse is going to be able to do when he gets this sort of start.
I just cannot believe how well that top lane went, to be honest with you. The Nyx Primal lane versus a Phoenix DK. They've shut down the DK. Like, you don't expect this dual melee lane. Nyx is one of those kind of weaker laners, but he's been able to make it work versus the Phoenix beautifully.
And the thing is as well, it wasn't like Mira had to stay there all the time, right? He kind of did the first few waves, and then he was able to come and annoy the mid lane and start stealing these creeps away from Malrine.
And look at Malrine, he's attempting to just do some type of kind of sneaky plays to steal farm, but they're very aware of it. Spirit, the macro play, phenomenal so far here. 2K lead in the first 8 minutes. And Falcons did draft, as they said, they drafted to be able to deal with these lanes, especially double downing with an Enchantress Phoenix versus that ET. Some stacks to recover.
That's just going to be a bit of a race towards that Blink Dagger for Malrine before he's able to start setting things up. And Jeff Remark, the Blade Mail.
The macro play, phenomenal so far here. 2K lead in the first 8 minutes. And Falcons did draft, as they said, they drafted to be able to deal with these lanes, especially double downing with an Enchantress Phoenix versus that ET. Some stacks to recover.
That's just going to be a bit of a race towards that Blink Dagger for Malrine before he's able to start setting things up. And Jeff Remark, the Blade Mail.
Damage early. If he gets the pipe, the damage from Falcons is completely gone. It really is only a Mar at that point then, because the DK at this point is shut down, and if the pipe comes out for the Sanking AoE, where's your damage going to come? So they got to make some big moves when that Blink Dagger comes out from Malrine, but he's already getting gone on.
Mira's in with the setup, but quick burst strike from Malrine will get him out the range of the follow-up, so very fast moves here from Malrine. In response, will save him.
And there, he did have a sentry down, but you can always see the Nyx sense to be able to see through that invis as Mira just walking in versus 3 heroes, no fear.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This tower's pretty much gone.
It is.
They're going to bring TPs in. They want to try and hold this. Amar is considering starting some. He's going to go for the duel straight away onto the ET, and they have got the follow-up damage. So nice defense from Amar comes in. As I said, he knows you have to do some heavy lifting this game, and we're starting to see the beginning of it.
And he holds onto the tower, right? So 134 HP onto it. We'll be able to keep it alive here just for a small amount longer. And they are smoking, so do they have... Okay, they don't have the point in Epi, but they do have Egg. So looking to set up with something here. It's a tanky Primal Beast, though. I don't know if they're going to be able to bring down Collapse. He's got the cloak already brought out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
I feel like it's very likely he just gets away, even if there's like 4 heroes on him at that point without Epicenter. Yeah, Spirit. I'm sure they're super happy with the way their laning phase went. Klinks is free farming. That Deso timing is going to be excellent for him. Laurel as well too. Maelstrom timing is going to be good. So Falcons, they're trying to get something here, but also trying to just make sure the Malrine can farm a blink.
Look at this from Mira.
One step ahead.
Power of pink.
He knows he's here. He's got eyes on him, and the backup's coming in. And Skeeter, I don't know how much backup he has available to himself at this part of the map.
A little deep.
Now, Radahn doesn't want to go for it immediately. Hesitant about what might turn up in response. Wants to maybe try and find the back lines. Snake King is going to dive forwards.
He gets caught.
He is going to get caught. Gets grabbed as well by Collapse. There's Snake King gone.
It was like a bait on a bait on a bait. They back and forth baited them and then waited for Snake to show, and they got the grab. Skeeter a little too tanky for them to full commit, but there, they'll be able to get Snake.
Middle tower is under attack.
And they get the tower out of it as well too, so great moves again from Spirit as Falcons attempts for recovery from Malrine. Still 600 away from the blink. It's going to be a slow one. Very, very slow.
Mop. The storm setup, but they're bringing in the TPs as well.
Laurel's here.
Starting off the fight. I mean, Amar's just going to go straight for the duel. He may have just given up damage. He has. Lol's able to get the win.
And Crit's going down too.
Certainly looks to be the case.
Oh, he gets the kill though.
No, he does indeed. Lol does end up dying to crit, but Lol won't mind that. He just turned up and he got himself a free plus 10 duel damage.
The dream on Snapfire, really.
I mean, it didn't seem even that close as well.
Really
I guess Amar felt that there was less backup for the snap, but when he's TPing in on top of you, you've got to believe that the snap's pretty confident.
Yeah, and it's an ET. I mean, it's not an ET with any points in natural order, but I believe, yeah, 3 points in the Spirit, so extra big damage too, so. Amar tries for it, but does end up giving up that damage.
Absolutely a risky move. They're going to come out with the smoke.
Do they have the blink?
They do. It's on the way.
Okay. They have to make big stuff happen with it, because I just keep clicking on collapse. That pipe, it's very, very close already. Blink reveal.
They'll settle for the ET. He's going to try for the TP out, but the damage is done.
And they get some neutral creeps at the least out of it there. And they don't have to use epicenter, so they can look for a further catch here.
They're going to set up onto Amar.
Oops, stun off the Mars.
He's going to go for the duel, but he's not going to win this.
Wait, what?
He's got to stop doing this. This is 2 duels gone wrong. He's already given away more damage than he's gained. And it's just 13 minutes in, Fogged.
That's got to be Mira's Dagon already finished, pretty much. Hey, yeah, solo co-potential on all the supports now at this point, too. This game is rough.
This is rough.
I don't think they expected these lanes to go as poorly as they did on the side of Falcons. But Spirit just playing it beautifully, and there's that pipe. So Collapse, he's got that first aura. I wouldn't blame him if he just goes for the Greaves as well. And that's going to prevent... I mean, the Phoenix and the Sanking's damage is now heavily negated.
We'll see again. I mean, Amar, I guess he felt strong with the blade. Now wanted to go for the duel, but against these two, against the Clinks, this by the side of the Knicks, beating into him with the Desolator, it's not going to be a duel that you're going to win.
Nope. And that's the Deso stack and duel.
And that's the Wisdom Rune taken by Mira.
Now they have to kill him. Just commit for him. Don't let him get away. Do they have the duel? They do.
There we go. Amar will be able to gain himself the second victory.
But they lost the Wisdom as well, too. Their supports who are struggling already.
Bottom tower is under
Don't get that little bonus either.
Dire are scanning.
I'm trying to set up things down bottom by the looks of the Falcons. Has been scanned out by Spirit.
Do you want to go on Collapse, really?
I don't know, with this pipe and triple pressure, it's pretty tanky. They're going to try. They're stepping up, but of course they don't have duel. Still on cooldown. It's a bit of a sloppy attempt here from Falcons. Amar will be able to dodge the stop, but he won't be able to dodge everything else that gets thrown down his way. Amar dead on the front lines once again.
I think perhaps they're like, oh, maybe we can get him. And then they click him. They're like, wait a minute. He's got a pipe. Get the hell out. Get out of there. And they do run. They do lose Amar again, though. And we were saying he has to be the one to bring things back. That's 3 deaths now.
They really needed him to pull through after what was a tough start on the other lanes. Now at this point, Amar's going to fall back to the level of everyone of his other cores on the team. Snaking gets caught top. I mean, we're seeing already, you know, Redan moving across the map, gaining these Deso stacks like no tomorrow.
Mira even set up. Oh, might even just go for Malrine instead.
Why not? It's the bigger kill. Has got enough. He has.
It's a solo kill, essentially.
Uh-oh.
6K lead. Spirit cruising through this early game. With the lineup that scales beautifully, and Falcons.
I don't know, maybe the Sanking mid ain't it, Fogged.
Not versus Snapfire, perhaps. Maybe versus something else, but versus Snap, that looked real rough for Malrine. I mean, top 2, somehow they just make this Primal Beast with a Nyx Assassin dominated DK Phoenix lane. Falcons at this point now. Waiting for items, but what item is it for the Sanking at least that makes his game feel too much better? Both him and the DK are just completely solved. Spirit, another one.
DK, I mean, Skeeter's dead in an instant.
And they've got Gleipnir now for Laurel too, so now he's actually got that big damage item and extra control too.
Bottom tower is under attack.
How do you fight into this if you're Falcons?
They're gonna just lose another hero. Crit. Can he actually?
He doesn't want to go for a collapse. A little too deep.
Okay. He's actually about to... Oh, he has the mech pretty much done also on Primal, so... Double auras versus this limited damage lineup.
Malrine. Mira's in with the setup. He's got a hell of a lot of burst, and he's got the follow-up damage from Redan.
The Nyx sense. There it is. Didn't even need the dust.
Well, then, even looking to set up on a crit beyond the tower. The Splitter comes in, won't connect, but the onslaught from Collapse, that certainly will.
13-5. This is devastating. Shard now being brought out also for Redan. They're hitting every timing and more.
Oh, feels like. That Spirit so far in this series showing that they can bring a good old comeback after getting completely crushed in the early game, and they can also crush the early game.
Absolutely.
So showing off their versatility so far from the Dota we've seen here today from Team Spirit.
This one looks very difficult to recover too, because the early, like, you want your DK to ideally have a much better time if you're putting him in a safe lane. He's the bottom of the cores too. He has a blink, but Where's their damage coming from? Yeah. Have to catch Spirit out of position pretty much now. And Miposhka, he'll play it safe. I don't know. Spirit's drive just scales harder, and they have such an advantage at this point.
Dire's bottom tower
Especially
is
with
under
ET.
attack.
Yeah, who makes the plays? Who goes in on Falcons?
They might just have to do some suicidal plays, really, but who's going to be your carry then at this point? Since DK is so shut down, Amar has to be that carry, but as we said, he's died now multiple times.
There is kind of a world where it's like Falcons line up. It's 3 offlaners.
It's 3 offlaners.
It's 3 offlaners. Where's the mid? Where's the carry?
I'm astonished with how shut down the DK is. The Nyx nearly has the same net worth as the DK safe lane. Remarkable stuff. And I can talk about like later, like the DK overall matchup versus Nyx in the past. It used to be like you get this group up kind of thing. Nyx is usually this like, he's this pick off kind of hero, but that's not the case at all in this type of game. This Nyx might just solo kill cores. He's got the shard finished up. He's got the Dagon. Malrine could absolutely die to this Nyx by himself. See if Falcons can work some type of magic, but this one just feels incredibly difficult.
I mean, we obviously saw it the other way around in game 1.
We did, but they don't have a morph
It kind of
lane.
felt like the game was over.
You know, they don't have that morph.
Well, yeah, indeed, they really don't. They don't have a Radahn.
No. They have a DK, who's not that super late game. Collapse, mech and pipe finished, and he's gonna go down the
Radiant's
creeps.
courier has been killed.
He just keeps showing himself. 2,000 HP Primal Beast versus majority magic damage at this point.
Dire's bottom
Mirror's
tower
on the hunt.
has fallen.
Snake King. He's looking very dead. Goodbye. I mean, Mirror, he's having a whole lot of fun. It's pretty fun playing the Nyx, right, when you get to this point. You're just running around the map. You know that you are making the enemy very upset.
He's been spamming this here on pubs too. This, I believe, is one of his top ones. Also, to point out, Radahn, when he has to play the 4 position, he's playing the Nyx as well too in a lot of the games. So
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's the answer from Mark. He's got the Blade Mail Blink. As I say, you know, if you're able to get the jump,
oh, and where's the damage?
I mean, that's the thing. Well, it's the Blade Mail, right? You're trying to use their damage against them. I guess the problem is that at this point with the lead the Spirit's cores have, even if they're kind of hurting themselves with the Blade Mail, they're probably going to have tools around them to keep them alive and allow them to win the duel. So,
and they have counter initiation too. The duel comes out, there can just be an ET stomp, splitter, follow-up. And overall, as far as I've seen, it's really just been Collapse showing his face. So you don't really want to duel the Primal. You want to find some of these squishy heroes, but they just haven't been giving you the opportunity either.
easy Tormentor.
And the Greaves, they are finished.
They're smoking up. They're going to try something. They get him with the Blink Blade.
They find the Blinks. Is there damage?
No, there is not. That isn't dead. They do have the Burrow Strike. In fact, a big combo here. In fact, with the Epicenter and the Supernova, they're doing a lot of damage to Spirit, but the Supernova will fall. They've killed Lyle off, though, Falcons.
That's 3.
They found 3.
Can they get Collapse too? His
Maybe.
TP? They've got him.
Eyes on him. Burrow Strike in. Isolated and on his own, they will get him as well. Falcons, they find 4.
They catch Clinks separated. He was very far up, separated from the team. They actually did not get the counter initiation.
Okay, did win the duel on the way out, of course, Radahn. He got himself a +10, but overall, a successful fight here from Falcons. We'll see again, you know, Mark.
It just gets deleted.
I mean, you said one of them sort of had to make kind of that suicidal play. That was a Mark. He goes in, he starts the fight, but it works out. Sure, the Supernova goes down, but so much damage has already been done amongst the Epicenter, the Sandstorm, the Supernova. The Falcons, they're able to get the cleanup this time round in their favor.
Kind of the perfect, literally the perfect time to strike. The Clinks just had stepped out of position of his teammates there, so.
All right, a little bit of something for Falcons.
A little bit of breathing room.
They're going to need quite a bit more of that.
Quite a bit more absolutely needed, but at the least they got one. One fight where they get a win. Small win, but a win nonetheless with the position that they're in. Skeeter able to get some cleanup. Still bottom of the cores, unfortunately for him, but. And also, Laurel, pre-fight, so since the Clinks was taken out of the fight, there was no, extra hits to be able to take out the egg. Laurel had already used a little shredder before the fight started, so Snae's egg actually took them quite a bit longer to bring down.
Yeah, they was able to get a lot of damage out during that Supernova, yeah.
And also, the Greaves were killed on the Courier, so Collapse didn't have the Greaves for that fight as well, too. So it was quite an opportunistic move that Falcons was able to find right there.
Yeah. After finding it once, doesn't necessarily it's going to be any easier to find that sort of chance the second time. They've still got to keep things and execution at top level here, Falcons, if they want to have the ability to stand a chance to turn this. Mirror not able to get the stun on towards the Legion, and in fact, he's able to turn with the duel. This time Amar will win it, but he does still end up dying afterwards. The Pro strike over on towards Collapse, and indeed they've got easily enough magical to bring down this Primal this time round. So once again, 2 for 1, but maybe this time Spirit will continue to clean up in their favor. The damage coming out here from Lal and Radan. Skeeter steps up to look from the Pasca, but this damage from the Deso clinks too much as Skeeter falls and Radan's ready to chase from all. Looking towards Snake King and Crit. Snake King will get the Supernova off. Can these two take it down?
It's a lot of misses. It pops.
They're not going to get it. The extra success. The Supernova goes off. Lal gets burned down by the Sunray.
The supports?
He might get room to Radan as well. Dive forward.
They've got him.
They have the vessels in. Radan's going to fall. Snaking. And Crit, they'll do it. Crit, the last one standing. Okay, not for now. Mira comes in, kills him off. But again, it's something for Falcons. This time around, they do lose quite a lot of their own heroes. I think, in fact, they basically get team wiped. But overall, they're doing this whilst they're behind. They're getting a bit of a gold increase, getting a bit of an XP advantage.
They need these type of plays to happen. Mira off the mark there with the stun. Probably, might even just kill Amar if he does get the initial stun on him there. But Snaking and Crit, they did the work. Look at Crit and Snipe. Full duration Sunrays, full mana pools from the Impetuses as well, too. Wow. And then in the Mira finds the solo.
Yeah, this next assassin, Mira, this is one of those kind of games where Mira's like, I don't even mind that we're not winning this smoothly.
He's gonna have fun.
I get to play more. I get to kill more. I get to go for these, solo pickoffs. This is every Nyx assassin's dream.
Let's be honest. If he did hit that stun on Amar there in that last fight, Amar's instantly dead as well, too. So he was pinging out. He's like, they have vision in the area, but he was just off the mark on the stun. But still, he will one-shot these heroes.
We've got a replay here of that little pickoff, Amar. Look at his health. He's got a lot of it, but doesn't matter. Not for long. Even with the Dagon combo. That's a lot of damage.
Can't prevent it. Mira's having a field day.
Yeah, he don't want this game to end, Mira. He wants to keep killing.
What's this, a Dagon 3 now? Is it finished up? Oh, yup. All right, so the supports seem to be the key for the side of Falcons. They have to do that heavy lifting. Can they have another situation like that happen? We'll have to see. Snake, that mischance did add up. But here comes Mira. Who's it gonna be?
This is the thing as well. How does Mira keep getting away with this? I feel one of the reasons why we don't see Nyx in pro play, because everyone's like, oh, Invis ain't that OP. You can set up, you can prepare for it. But seemingly, you can't. He still finds opportunities to get you.
Usually, it's the thing is also that usually your lane doesn't go as well. But this lane went phenomenal. So he just is that far ahead. He did hit 6 really early, so. BKB on
Maposhka. That's not going to be a successful TP. But he will tank the smoke, gang.
They get the duel.
Amar continuing to grow his damage up to a nice plus 60.
Can look to take out this tier 1. It's low. So Skeeter, blink BKB timing. Falcons might look for a little bit more of a catch. They don't have duel. Spirit might also look to fight back here. ET respawning soon. Radan just gonna cut the wave. He's got the Lincolns, got the Dragon Lance, and he's got the crit. His damage is pretty absurd at this point. They still do have to solve the problem of him and the scaling that's coming out from the Snapfire. But small gains, of course, that Falcons have been able to find.
Yeah, they've kind of been able to slow down the gold increase from Spirit, but they haven't really been able to turn it around.
No, and it will come down to, is Skeeter going to be able to match a Clinks and a Snap as this core to see? Because he's still slowed down on his DK.
Arin. Does he want to go for this? They've got the Dragon Tail set up. They're looking over towards Collapse. He's in with the jump. Collapse. Charge away with the onslaught, and Radan's holding the high ground.
He does go down, though.
He just got to back off with the BKB. Falls very low. We'll start to get healed up. Radan and Maposhka, they're going to look to try and chase. You've got Mira coming in from the side. They're looking to burst through crit. They'll take the Enchantress down.
Falcons has to run.
They're going to continue to chase for more. Marion able to blink off. Maposhka pretty speedy here with the chase. He's able to get the Spirit out. On the side, lands him with the glide near. They've got the catch on the wall.
Snake got caught.
Mallory is likely going down. Same to be said for Snaking. As they just can't quite find the fight this time round. Spirit in a much better position to set up for it. And with the lead that they have against Falcons, Falcons just don't deal that well in a team fight when they're not able to take it on their own sort of decision, own sort of initiation.
It's deep as well, too. They had to commit absolutely everything to bring down that Primal Beast. And then, yeah, Spirit. Everybody was at like, what, 20% HP very quickly, too. They have to just full retreat. Radahn able to get clean up.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, they feel like they need to go for this Primal Beast, though, because he's too much of a nuisance, but he's absorbing the damage, and he nearly one-shots him.
He really does. I mean, Amar's going to go for the duel. Is he able to get the win? He is.
He does.
Okay. Extra bit of bonus damage for Amar. Takes out the Nyx Assassin and does put a stop to the push.
Skeeter, lucky. Very lucky to survive there. Mira wants this game to keep going, though. He wants to keep trying to go for these solo kills. But is giving some breathing room, Falcons. Who got the last hit there? It was Amar, right? Yeah. So Amar now with a BKB. Can perhaps actually jump in a lot easier and maybe won't be that sacrifice. Quite a bit of physical damage, though, still on Spirit. And playing into the double Lincolns is still going to be obnoxious. Kind of the only... Yeah, he has to kind of just duel who he can find, since these Lincolns are always going to be up.
They're trying to start on towards Radahn. They got the Supernova in on top of him. Radahn, he's going to get taken out.
They got him.
They get the jump, they get the kill. Maybe they can even get something more. Amar's looking over towards Lal, trying to
burning him
close
down.
the gap. Around the tier 2, though, it's kind of difficult to dive, but he's going to try and go for it. He's going to go straight away over towards the Nyx Assassin. They've got the burst strike to Mira. They take him down, and they're diving in for more. Lal tries to hold his ground with a little straight up at Amar. He's able to pick up the double kill.
This game is absolute chaos.
Amar on the retreat now.
The Rock.
I'm going to connect, and he's got the blink back up, so Amar's fine.
They go back in.
Back in, jump forward again with the overwhelming odds. They're on a nuke through Miposhka. Collapse will turn with the pulverize. Start trampling over the two of them with the onslaught. He's taken out Amar, and he might just get Skeeter. He does. Collapse. He ends up on top of it all. Big smiles on his face. Triple kill for him.
And this game is this even Dota? It's 30-21 now, and I feel like both teams are just running at each other. This is insane. Literally, look, there's just a Clinks getting jumped from 5 people, but then they jump too far. Collapse cleans up. Oh, this is a treat. This is super fun to watch, no matter what.
Falcons, you know, they're desperately trying to make these moves, and that one nearly kind of worked out until Collapse sort of got a triple kill at the end of it all. And got a huge further burst to his golden XP. But, you know, good aggression from Amar. You know, I like the way he's starting off fights. He's really trying to get something going. We'll see at the start of it all when Radahn got initially caught. This was one of the reasons why Falcons were able to find something out of the overall team fight. Because if Radahn doesn't die at the beginning, there's no way Falcons are getting the chance to get these sort of kills.
They're doing a pretty darn good job of like breaking these Lincolns as well, too. I didn't even see who broke the initial one. But this just felt like it's like sheer persistence and just aggression from Falcons.
This is why they go back in, because why not? Look how low the two of them are. It's very tempting.
That's you right there.
But then you kind of remember the Collapse is insanely farmed, and 2 versus 1, it doesn't matter. You're not going to kill this Primal.
Diving under the tier 2s for that 5 position. Very worth it for the 2 cores right now. Giving Collapse massive kill.
These are my kind of plays, Falcons. And into the Roshan Spirit go.
Back to the more normal kind of stuff. Objectives being taken, Spirit. Looking for that Roche. I feel like Falcons is just trying to cause chaos. To just break.
To do something.
Yeah, because the game state is not great for them, so they're just trying to make things happen.
That's 15k lead now for Spirit. Aegis onto Radahn.
Level 20's been hit for Snapfire, so Laurel has hit that big timing for the core snaps. Look at this wraparound.
Oh, I like it. I mean, Falcons, they just go, go, go. They don't want to sit back. They don't want to wait and try for some high ground offense. They want to try and catch them by surprise, Aegis or not. Amar's ready to jump in and look for a dual objective.
I'm watching the 2 supports really on the side of Falcons. If they can get full mana pools off and eggs in a good position, but top fast Laurel.
Snaking, scouting things out.
Ward placed down for vision.
Amar, who's he going to find?
Scouting.
Down.
Right. The rock thrown.
Ooh, has to use the blink to dodge the rock for now. Aghanim's done on ET.
Miposhka's got an Aghanims.
Darn, he's going in. He's going straight for Snaking. Snaking said doesn't even get a chance really to get a single spell off.
And crit as well.
I think they've just got to sack the 2 supports to get the cores out of it. As indeed Radahn cleans up both of them. The rest of Falcons have to retreat.
They're trying. They're trying their hardest to get these wraparounds. This one is red though. Spirit were prepared. And Miposhka's got an Ags. No longer easy to bring down on this ET either. Scaling it has hit. Can look for the Tormentor if they want now. With the 2 supports dead. Feels like Falcons needs absolutely every little thing to be able to take out.
Oh, and Miposhka's going to get that as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Radahn's in. He's ready with the push onto the tower. Falcons, they don't have the buybacks on the 2 supports, so like the 3 cores are going to have to sit back and watch their bottom set of racks get taken away.
Glyphs in 3 seconds is still on cooldown.
I mean, look at Mira, he's trying to set up something sneaky here.
Dire's bottom barracks.
Towers go down.
Dire's bottom barracks.
It's the fortification.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
They're taking a second set.
They're gonna try. They're thinking about it. They're pinging Riyadh, but the buildings are dying.
I mean, they want to wait for everyone to be back up. They want to wait for crit. And that is indeed going to mean that they're going to have to sack their second set of barracks. Spirit, they get both of them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Spirit playing it cool and collected.
And they can just look for the top lane now, take that tier 2.
And Falcons, they might just smoke and kind of YOLO go for it, because it feels like if they just play normal Dota, there's no chance backing it. I'll look for Mira, but they can't. I actually don't know if they have a smoke. I was checking. Doesn't look like they did. So just might have to brute force an attempt into this incredibly farmed lineup of Spirit.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower
Better
has
not
fallen.
fall off.
Feels smooth. Feels like smooth sailings for Spirit. Up to top. Still got the Aegis for about, what, 2 minutes?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gotcha.
Oh, they're gonna go for some type of sneaky smoke play. Maybe look to catch him inside mid. Be cool. Yeah. We'll scout.
A good TP back from Crit. Knows that they're likely to be sweeping the map like this. We'll get back and ready for the high ground defense. Same to be said for the rest of Falcons. They're prepared in the base.
Spirit was just looking to kind of catch them outside there, since they know that someone was definitely just trying to farm up. I think their smoke, it just came back up here for Falcons. So tough to say who they need to even prioritize in these fights, because just everybody at this point is a problem. Even the ET. And Poshka has somehow been able to find his Aghanims farmed up.
Here goes Riyadh. Remember the push, they're trying to jump in there. They'll pop the Lincolns, but not able to find the follow-up stun. Jump forward from Amai's going to go straight for the duel. Everyone's eating. The Pulverize is there. Immediately Collapse grabs him.
He's just dead.
Poshka's going to win the duel. Maori jumps in with the epicenter, but the damage is negligible. It's not enough as he has to back away. He cannot kill any of them off. They're on full retreat right now, Falcons and Lyle. He's not going to let them retreat. Forcing forward there with the little shredder. Triple kill for him. Skeeter desperately trying to get back towards the fountain. The buybacks come out. The damage is too high. Ultra kill for Lyle. They're killing them off in the fountain. The rocks come through. GG's being caught. Team Spirit. They take both of the games here today. And this second one, it, for the most part, didn't look close, folks. No. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of clashing. You know, Falcons, they went for it. They ran at them. They did. Try and stop the win from coming out from Spirit and to try and turn this one around. But Spirit, for the whole of this, they were just too far ahead.
They were way too far ahead. I don't think Falcons expected these lanes to go as poorly as they did. They kind of drafted themselves to need to win these lanes, and they kind of all crumbled quite hard there. The Legion Commander lane didn't even get a kill early on to the Clinks. The mid lane, we saw what happened. The Snap was kind of crushing, and then the top lane is the biggest surprise to me. The Nyx and the Primal Beast just decimated DK Phoenix, so Spirit looking as hot as ever, even more so.
Nah, that's true. And if Falcons, you know, one of, if not the best team in the world, you know, coming into this tournament, one of the favorites, can't deal with this Primal Beast Nyx lane, what team in the tournament is going to be able to? This has got to go. This has got to be taken away. Whether it's the Nyx or the Primal, I guess in your case, you would say more the Primal element of it. Because Collapse on this hero right now, insane performances, both games. Turns around game 1 and game 2, crushes it from the laning stage and never falls behind.
Yeah, it's got to be at least that one, but there's a lot of other problems, of course, that came in Spirit. They just look completely on point today. Their macro play, their team fighting spells. Team fighting in particular has always been this team's prowess, but wow, yeah, very impressive.
And Falcons, you know, it's fun to see something a bit new, a bit different. We always like it when you bring something different into the meta with this mid-sanking, and even to the extent Legion Commander coming through, something that we haven't seen, I believe, in the tournament so far. I didn't mind the Legion. You know, this was a kind of a lost game, but Amar still made some cool moves. He did give away some dual damage at the start. But the Sanking mid, the lane just went far too rough.
The lane went far too rough.
You can't have that sort of happen. As you were saying before, right, you picked this here. One of the reasons why, because you turn up to the mid matchup, and the enemy mid, he hates you. He hates playing against you. This wasn't the case this game. Lyle, he loved it.
Yep, absolute free farm and pressuring and getting kills. Everything just went perfect for Spirit this game. So Falcons definitely get back to the drawing board and see what they'll have to do. And what other teams are going to have to do to prepare for this Spirit that is just in absolute top form.
No, absolutely. No, crazy stuff indeed today. Well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, quite the performance, quite the result. Spirit, they get both games 2-0 to Falcons. We're going to be able to head over to the stage.
Thank you very much. Yes, I am joined by Laurel of Team Spirit, who is starting things off very, very strong here in Riyadh, especially in that game one. I want you to take me back through Falcons having a substantial for most of the game, claiming Asia, and attempting to go high ground and just completely throwing the entire game away. What the heck happened there?
I think Sven should farm BKB. They have he has enough money to buy BKB. They just maybe feel they strong enough to go high ground, but I guess they don't understand our power. Yeah, power our heroes. So, and I think Aegis should take Brute or Sven because it's more core. Yeah. And
maybe they just don't understand your power in general because we have not seen you guys play post-Facet patch. So I was hoping to maybe get your thoughts on 7.36 Dota. What was your reaction to Facets being added in general?
I think I don't have much reaction. Just it's good to have some updates in Dota 2. So we just feel good in new patch, I guess.
Did it change any of your heroes where you were like, oh, maybe this is a new style of playing Leshrac or something like that?
Yeah, they maybe have a good Snapfire buff also. Yeah, Ember maybe. And Storm, he was good, but now he's okay, just okay.
Well, that's keeping up with modern times, but I was hoping you could take me back to maybe just about a year ago, because it was maybe 12 months that you were standing here in Riyadh, and that was your first big championship with Spirit. So as time has progressed, what's it been like going from a newcomer that people didn't really know about to being one of the most feared mid laners in the world? It's my words, not yours, don't worry.
I don't have much feelings about this. Just feel good when I can play with my team and show good game. Yeah.
It's been fun watching you. And my last question, I see you went for the bald buff, but that was because of some content stuff. So I saw you guys filmed some movie-inspired pieces. Yours was inspired by Fight Club.
Yes.
Had you watched Fight Club before?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you knew the character that you were representing?
Yes, I know.
And you were okay shaving your head for it?
Yes. Yes.
Because Yotaro, or Radon rather, saves his head shaves for very strategic moments.
I mean, it's summer and I don't like much hair on my head, so it's good.
All right, well, you're staying cool, Laurel, and you're making your gameplay look cool. Congratulations on a strong start as we send it back to the panel.
Thank you very much, Tsunami and Laura. And I can totally recommend for people to watch the skits that Team Spirit put out. They are some great ones, and indeed, Laura on the classic with Fight Club. But let's talk about this match, because this was also crazy, and in certain times it did look a little bit like Fight Club. But this was... Okay, let's start from the beginning. Laning stage, Team Spirit, Lacoste did it really well, and we saw Falcons already struggling to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, they counterpicked some of their heroes. They saw this ET, Enchanters were going to dispel that, then they picked Clinks, and top lane, Nyx Assassin. This is the hero that always had one issue. He was